This is Villa View. Coming up, the inside story on Gerard Houllier. Hello and welcome to Villa View. I'm Paul Bradley and I'm joined in our Fort Dunlop studios by Aston Villa correspondent Matt Kendrick. Hi Matt.
Hello there.
Well, you broke the story about Gerard Houllier leaving Aston Villa this week. What's the latest state of affairs at Villa Park today on Tuesday afternoon?
Well, as we've reported in this morning's paper, Villa and Houllier between them have come to the difficult decision. I think it would be best in both parties' interests if Gerard Houllier parts company with the club. It's not quite finalised. An official announcement, I'm led to believe, will be made later this week, but it's certainly in the process of being resolved. I think currently there's just a few kind of outstanding issues regarding the possible severance package and just kind of dotting the I's and crossing the T's. But as we've written today, it's my understanding that sadly Gerard Houllier won't be continuing as Aston Villa manager.
And I suppose what happens next is Villa will start looking for a replacement.
Yeah, I mean, I think in fairness to Villa, I think they've treated this situation very sensitively. Obviously, Houlier's had these documented health problems, so I think they needed to give him enough time to try and make a recovery, to listen to all the medical advice, to see what all the experts said, and to see how Houllier felt and how Randy Lerner, who's the main decision maker, how he felt about it all. So they've done that. They've done it swiftly enough to allow them enough time to hunt for the successor. What they're keen to avoid is a situation like last summer, where Martin O'Neill obviously left with 5 days to go before the start of the season. Now they've got at least 2 or 3 months to kind of not only get a manager in place, but get some very important transfer business concluded as well.
Now, you broke the story exclusively today, and since then there's been a lot of talk about who might be that replacement. Just throw some of the names who have been suggested at me at the moment.
Well, these people already in work, people with Premier League experience. David Moyes at Everton, Mark Hughes at Fulham, an interesting one, Roberto Martinez at Wigan, and then there's a few people who are out of work for various reasons at the moment. I know that Carlo Ancelotti seems quite popular with a lot of people I've spoken to following his sacking at Chelsea. This former England boss Steve McClaren, who possibly seems less popular with people I've spoken to, Martin Jol, Frank Rijkaard. There's probably it's at this stage where there's probably a dozen serious contenders, but I'm sure Villa will be trying to whittle that down to the one main man, hopefully within the next fortnight.
Now, it's worth saying at this stage, Matt, that you can actually vote on who you want to be the next Villa manager. If you look at the bottom of the screen now, you'll find the link to that page where you can vote on the Birmingham Mail who you want to be the next Villa manager. Now, turning back to the players at Villa Park now, what sort of effect will that have on some of the stars who may be looking to stay or maybe looking to leave Villa Park?
It's an interesting one because we've heard all throughout Gerard's 8-month reign that there's been kind of little spats here in the dressing room and disagreements with this player and that player. It was my understanding that gradually, a very gradual and slow process, but gradually he was winning that battle to try and stamp his mark on the dressing room. I presume the players that you're referring to are the Ashley Youngs and the Stuart Downings. I personally don't think it'll make a difference to Villa's hopes of Ashley Young staying at Villa Park, whoever the new manager is. I think Ashley Young has got his heart set on a move to one of the kind of established big clubs, and it looks like Manchester United are going to try and drive through that deal now that the Champions League distractions out of the way. I know that they've established initial contact with Villa. Stuart Downing is an interesting one. I don't think for 1 minute that he would leave or be allowed to leave this summer anyway. I know we reported the story last week that he's kind of said that he's not yet ready to sign a new contract. It could be a key factor in persuading him to commit his future for longer than 2 years if the new manager comes in with the right ideas and the right philosophy and can prove to Stuart Downing that Aston Villa are going places. OK, Matt, well, thanks for your thoughts today. We'll be following this story over the next few weeks and months, and remember you can follow both me and Matt on Twitter on the addresses at the bottom of your screen now. We'll be back again next week with more Villa View. See you then.